Welcome to Live Up to Freedom, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on this Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. A very soft, rainy day here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't know where you're at, but I hope your day is going well. We are live on worldviewtube.com, WorldViewTube X and Rumble channel, and also WorldViewTube app, which is available for free on your app store. And all you need to do is look for it, download it, turn on your notification, and you'll never miss any special coverage or breaking news like we've been doing for last 5 days. We're also live on X America News on X and live on my platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, and Substack. During the conversation, I will be looking at your comments. Help me with the show today. I didn't do any prep. On the other hand, I figured I don't need to do prep because I'm reporting around the clock, so my head is already prepared. But I did not send in any B-rolls or footages, forgive me. And before I get into the show, first of all, let me thank you, all of you, every single one of you, those of you who are joining the stream, those of you who are sharing all the reports, commenting, engaging, praying. I appreciate every single one of you. And I would like to say that I think I have officially reached the bottom of this candle. I know it seems like it's been 5 days, but for some of us, it has been 9 weeks. From December 27th until today, I've been at it. I was looking at my Facebook page and I was looking and I was like, just getting through one day of post on my Facebook takes about a good 10 minutes. And I am not complaining. I feel very honored, very blessed that I have the capability to do what I do, but I do need to take a moment. I have physically, emotionally, mentally, it's all just coming down, crashing, and we can't have that. So, most certainly next week, unless something very major happens, even more major than the war, I will most likely have all the days on a rerun of this week. As you know, I have my event. My first book signing is Saturday, March 14th. So half of the week I'll be traveling on the road, do the event, travel back. And I also have my normal job that I'm handling. So I hope you understand. I hope you don't forget about everything that's going on and continue supporting my efforts here next week. Tomorrow I won't be able to do a show, but Friday I will do my show. I will also be sitting in for Brown House on Friday night for Brown House Live. So I'll see you again this week. But I just wanted to put this out, especially if I'm not as high energetic as I should be today. I'm not sad. I'm not discouraged. I am just exhausted. But I will keep smiling as much as I remember to smile, and we'll get through the day today with some updates. Appreciate your understanding. Just a reminder, first, a thank you for all the orders that came in since yesterday's show. I am very grateful for your orders on the signed copy of my book, the paperback signed copies. They are continue sending them in. We still have about 40 of them left for the month of March, as I mentioned before, and on my release that we have a limited inventory for each month. As you can understand, I need to put in capital into receiving the copies. So we still have about 40 left for month of March. After that, any order comes in are not going to be going out until April. You can go to my website, liveuptofreedom.com. Liveuptofreedom.com. You see the cover of the book on the homepage. You click on it. There's a button where you can order your signed copies. I appreciate your support. And the March 21st is still the release for those outside of America who want to grab a copy from Amazon. March 21st is the day. Let's dive right into, before I look at your comments here in a minute, there are a few updates that are very important. Or I should say, let me counter a few hypes, misinformation, disinformation, whatever we want to phrase them. Number one, this is not going to be a never-ending war. It's not even possible for it to be never-ending. If you look at the first 5 days, and even if you just look at my reporting, with evidence attached to every report, either a picture or a video, Israel and US are pretty much about a good 70% there. Remember, I have the tangible understanding of what is inside Iran, numbers and buildings, and the amazing achievement. There isn't much left of them. The next round will be targeting individuals. Most of the infrastructure is gone. And when I say gone, they're gone. I have posted so many videos on my Substack, on my X account, and on my Facebook, the 3 places I'm reporting. There is nothing left of those places. Nothing. So, for everybody who's so worried about the Truth Social post by President Trump yesterday saying we have unlimited ammunition and this can go forever, he wasn't hinting at a never ending war in Iran. He was informing that for anybody who's worried we're going to run out of ammunition or weapons or soldiers, we're in good shape. That's what he said. So stop spreading the fear of never-ending war in Middle East again. I have already extensively covered the whole point of Iran's not going to turn into Iraq or Afghanistan, so I'm not going to even go there. But addressing the post by President Trump, he wasn't stating this is a never-ending. It's not even, as I said, it is not possible. And you look at it, I titled the show today, Iran is trying so hard to expand this war. But if you pay attention, it's not expanding. Iran's shooting at every neighbor. Every neighbor is talking tough, but they haven't gotten involved yet. Saudi Arabia keeps talking, Qatar keeps talking, Bahrain keeps talking. Yes, UK got involved late night our time. There was the British Air Forces intercepting drones, protecting Jordan mainly and parts of Qatar. But the goal of the IRGC is to try to expand and buy time. They're not getting involved. I know why the Gulf states aren't getting involved. Don't take that as anything except that they always play both sides. They're always giving a possibility of who's next in Iran. They're not going to jeopardize their neighboring status with Iran, which we should take a big lesson from it. The fact that Israel and U.S. military are the only ones on the line of fire should tell us everything we need to know about giving a Qatari base to Qatar government here in America. All of that can be expanded into a book of its own. But bottom line is, and I'm not saying this because the target is Iran. I'm saying this as you know, I'm even proud of myself for handling this so unbiased and not emotionally for 9 weeks. The facts are right there in front of us. This is not going to be a never-ending war. This is not even. I know there was a report from our end, U.S. end, of it might be 8 weeks. I still don't even think that's going to be the case. If it's the case, then it's the case. But I don't really think we're going to expand beyond the 4 weeks originally that Israel said it's going to be a 4 weeks process. I don't think it's going to be longer than that. So let's everybody take a deep breath. As those of you who have followed me for a long time, you know I have always been, let's not get involved voice in America. However, today we're involved. So instead of trying to bash our military, instead of trying to be the Debbie Downer and the negative voice behind it, why don't you hold your breath, say a prayer, pray for success, and wait it out. In 5 days, you cannot label a war a never-ending war. Okay, it's been 5 days. So everybody out there who's freaking out, they're just showing that they're not journalists, they're not reporters, they're not anchors, they're just looking for opportunity for more clicks. In 5 days, nobody, even in Iraq, we couldn't call it a never-ending war in day 5. And I want to remind everybody, circumstances of anything in life, not just war, not just politics, not just policies, circumstances are very different. We have seen people who survived cancer, and then we have seen people who died of flu. So to compare one circumstance with the other one and expect or manifest the same outcome is ridiculous. So that's my very first, I wanted to get that before possibly going off air for longer than a day. I wanted to say, calm down. Give it a moment and look at the result. Look at the result. In 5 days, what has been achieved and what are we looking on the other side, the enemy side, the IRGC and Islamic regime of Iran. Those circumstances should tell you that anyone who's talking negative about the circumstances today is not working based on facts and evidence. They're working based on their own assumptions and their own wishes or their own opportunity. That's number one. Number two, I kind of hinted at it. Let's take note of all of these Gulf states who are standing by cheering us while they're just talking tough. That is important note to be taken because this victory is amazing. It's glorious. Praise Lord. But within every victory, there are notes and lessons to be learned. And these lessons are important in the future of America. Though the focus right now is on the future of Iran, and you know it is very close to my beyond. It is my heart. It's not close to my. It is my heart. The future of Iran, but so is future of America. And taking notes today of proper action versus proper talks inside the region is important. Do remember who's backing who's supporting who's putting their money where their mouth is. These are the little tiny things normally in chaos most people don't pay attention to. But I guess being a survivor, I have learned to pay attention to what nobody else pays attention to. I was asked again, why are you not reporting on this and that? I said, if everybody else is reporting that topic, why should I report on it? It is already coming out. Now, when they report extensively on something that is wrong or incorrect, I will report the correct version of it. Otherwise, I'm going to pay attention to what nobody's talking about. For example, nobody has come out and say more than 80% of besieged buildings are gone. That is a very important fact. Basij is what does the crackdowns. Basij is the department that killed Iranians on the streets. Not yesterday, not last week, not 9 weeks ago, for last 47 years. So when you take out almost 80% of their headquarters and buildings and facilities, you have crippled them. Basij is done. That is an important fact to be mentioned. That's an important fact to be reported on. So let's take note of our allies in the region. Not the words, not the prime minister said this and the foreign minister said that and the sheikh of this place said that. No, the actual tangible actions that are being taken or the expectations. They hit your base in my country. It's your job to protect my country expectations. Pay very close attention to all of that. And if you can't find those reports anywhere else, that's all right. You can find them on my platforms. I'm on air maybe an hour, 2 hours on Saturday, about 5 hours. But the rest of the time, I am posting in video format, text format, or picture format, or sometimes all of the above, on my Facebook, on my Substack, and on my X account. You will see, you will take notes. So later, after midterm, when there are renewals coming up with our allies, you can have a voice, a legit factual voice behind who should stay ally or be considered ally or not. With that, we're going to go take our first ad break to hear from one of my allies. We'll be right back.
Life is too short to spend a single moment spinning in laundry worries. Take a load off your mind with the all-new Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. This natural detergent harnesses the power of enzymes and plant-based surfactants to leave fabrics fresh and clean without fillers, brighteners, synthetic fragrances, bleach, or harsh chemicals. So go ahead, have your cake and eat it too. More than ever, stressful stains have met their match. Powerzyme's fast-acting enzymes break down organic substances while natural surfactants loosen locked-in dirt and oil, removing residue, stains, and odors with ease. With 91% bio-based ingredients, this dermatologist-tested hypoallergenic formula is suitable for sensitive skin types and delivers a safe and effective clean that won't harm you or the planet's waterways. Less time spent worrying about laundry means you can focus on what truly matters. Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. Discover the power of nature and load up on confidence.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. Let me tell you an interesting sales pitch story about Norwex. So Thursday, day before war broke, I had all of my windows in my house and doors replaced. So they showed up and they replaced all the windows, the doors, and all of that. And one of the people who was with the team was standing and cleaning up all the windows and the frames and all of that. So I step up. I gave her one of my window cloth from Norwex, and she just looked at me. I sprayed a little bit of water. I started wiping. She just looked at me like, "How?" I was like, "It's magic. I know." And she was like, can I buy some?" I don't have any inventory on hand, but I gave her a link. So apparently now Norwex, sorry, the window company is going to order Norwex window cloth for after installation cleaning, which was interesting. So yeah, if you like to make less work while getting the best cleaning in your house, Norwex is your product. Same thing with their hygiene and skincare and pet care uh, kits department. CyrusWellness.com is where you can get pretty amazing products, save yourself time, money, and give yourself a healthy household while supporting me financially. As I have said, and I will always be transparent, I receive a percentage of your purchase as a commission as one of the consultants at Norwex. Let's head over to the comment section. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. Hello, Annalise. Good to see you as well. Hi, Cherie. Annalise says, you never need prep. I know. I almost feel like well, when I say prep is when I send my rundown to Thomas in control room is my prep time, for example, few clips, couple of images, maybe a Substack, something that's what it is. I know when you breathe, eat, sleep this information, prep has no meaning. Make some time for river rafting or rock climbing. There is nothing more refreshing to the mind as physical exertion in God's creation. That is very true. But I won't be able to do rock climbing. There were few things in my life that I had to pick that side or my side of keeping my nails as weapons. And one of the things was rock climbing. So was putting down the guitar because you don't get to play guitar with these nails. However, river rafting does sound good. I don't think I'm going to necessarily take a couple of days to do anything outside of resting, eating proper meal. And as I just told you, day before this all happened, I had all my windows and doors replaced. And if you would see behind this camera, just right here in this office, it's a war zone, literally, because we had to move a lot of furniture, take all the blinds and curtains down. A lot of it has now been back up. I very loosely put all the soundproofing and blackouts on the windows here, but I need to fix everything, especially again, I'll be traveling next week. So it's not going to be necessarily resting, it's going to be catching up with the other side of life while I will continue reporting, guys. But yeah, I'm going to take some of the getting ready time and being on air to fix up the war zone inside my house. Oh, thank you, Lori. Lori says you did such a fabulous job hosting Brennan House live last night. I appreciate that. I had a blast. Now, of course, with great guests always help do a better job. I was very honored to do that. Do you think, Annie, do you think it would be a good idea for Iranian people to let Trump know they do not want MEK or anyone but Pahlavi, maybe letters to the White House, etc.? Or would that be useless? That's a great question. Let me go to the next update, and then within that, I will answer your question. The other update is, as I called it a long time ago, looks like we being United States of America, might try to have a good push for MEK as a replacement. I also covered it on my show yesterday about Musavi going into that. Now, those of you who may not have heard, looks like the decision has come down to our military arming and training the Kurds of Iran to get involved with the fight. Now, Kurds, we hear the word Kurds, but there are different sects. There are the Sunni Kurds. There are the what I call the atheist Kurds. There are the patriot Kurds. They're different groups. And I want to know which group are we going to arm? The group that has ties to MEK? That back in the time, there was a name of their group called Komole, which were the resistance. And when they pretty much, they couldn't survive like MEK. A lot of them joined MEK's cause. So is that the Kurds we're going to try to arm inside Iran, and why? The question is, who's even advising President Trump? Whomever is advising President Trump on this decision is again doing a side by side comparison of Iraq and Syria. You know how in Syria courts have been slaughtered, though they helped us plenty, but we let them be slaughtered. Is that the reason we're targeting courts in Iran? Because they're not the majority, they are the minority. Nothing against that. Turks are minority too. Baluch are also minority. But the question is, why are we not picking a coalition between Fars, Turks, Baluchis, uh, Arabs, Kurds, all of them? Why not? Why are we specifically going for the Kurds to be armed? That is a big red flag for people like me who know exactly how this could come back to bite us. I said it on radio with Brannon and Aaron today. For now, I'm putting the liberation of Iranian people on a back burner because the movement from our government doesn't seem to be the proper movement or the claim of we're going to let them pick their own government. That is not the case. Yesterday, President Trump said something of we could have the popular, moderate, modern from inside. Today, we're arming courts. This is all aligning with what I was concerned with. This is all aligning with why from day one I said I'd rather U.S. play no role in liberating Iranians. But again, it's one of those times of we shall wait and see. To answer your question, Lori, you really think not enough of us have written? Enough of us have written. We have done petitions. We have done videos. We have done signatures. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Today, IDF did, one of the generals of IDF did say that they were scheduling this attack for mid 2026. However, the revolution and uprising by Iranian people played a huge role of speeding it up or pushing it early because they hurt the people of Iran. But seems like, well, Israel is closer. I guess they are neighbors, so they could hear the Iranian people. But U.S. has not hurt the Iranian people yet, which is okay. Oh, uh, Lori says we know who has Trump's ear. Giuliani is one of them. Giuliani is one of them, but it has gone beyond the point of Giuliani. I kept asking everyone. I said boycott, boycott. Giuliani's been on their payroll for almost 2 decades now. But when Newsmax started supporting him days after the uprising, when Matt Gaetz started having them on his show on OANN, neither Newsmax nor OANN was boycotted by American conservative Christian audience. And then you had them gradually make their way up to Fox News. Today, Blaze TV put out an article saying that the Free Iran should start with women in charge with a picture of Mayim Rajavi, the leader of MEK. This is way past the point of Giuliani. 2 months ago, when we started sounding the alarm on MEK, maybe we could gain some momentum if we had more people back us up, stand by us, boycott, write to their favorite outlets and tell them maybe we could, get a result. But today, it's a little past that point, and I want to be very clear. I was asked this off air if MEK is pushed on Iran, there are many of us Iranians outside of Iran who will be going back to fight MEK. There is no chance for MEK to gain momentum inside Iran. And as Brannon said, the sad moment will be if the Iranians are left with no choice but to fight our soldiers, U.S. soldiers, inside Iran to keep the freedom that supposedly was given to them by the same military. That will be a sad moment. Hi, Pookie. Good to see you. Hi, Kendall. Good to see you as well on YouTube. Texas is going down. I need help and Rapture ready. Texas is, it's, how do I phrase it? Texas is not going down. Texas is conquered. It's not being conquered. Texas has been conquered. Again, I spent 9 months of my life in Texas, Dallas. And when I was getting out, like when I moved out on my way out of Dallas, I remember I made one last stop. I looked around and said, "It is so sad that you're conquered. Texas is conquered." But no conquered land is impossible to take back. The question is how much Texans are willing to put their money where their mouth is. Let me plug my book, not for the purpose of plugging, but in my book, The Architecture of Jihad, there is, my brain is too fried, so let me actually look at the table of content to tell you which chapter it is. It is, yes, on civilization jihad, lawful jihad, and betrayal jihad. Those are the 3 chapters. Chapters 7, 8, and 10 of the book. I gave you steps, a step by a step, at the end of each chapter, for each one of them, which is these 3 jihads are, by the way, what Texas is facing. These 3 forms of jihad is what Texas is facing. Of course, the betrayal jihad, every place is facing it. But these 3 are what Texas is suffering from. And at the end of each chapter, I have a section called, it is called, what is it called? I don't know. Practical countermeasures, where I have bullet points of practical countermeasures for citizens, not government, not police, not FBI, for citizens to take those steps and apply them and take their city, zip code, city, estate back, end of it, the country back. So though I'm brain fried today, I can say one of the reasons I feel extremely blessed is I with this book out, I can at least say over a decade of on-air interviews, Substack writing article, but now there's one place where you can get all of it if you're willing to get it, buy it, read it, and apply those steps, right? On the intro of the book, I did mention that this isn't just a book. It's an actual guideline. Each chapter by itself can help a lot. It's the root of it. You can legally argue this conversation now. I've given legal roots, doctrine roots, historical roots, all of it, to modern day, as early as a year ago, practices in our courtrooms, in our schools, in our stores. So, excuse me, yes, Texas is conquered, but you can take it back. There's plenty help in just that one book. LiveUpToFreedom.com is actually where you can get your advanced copy, or by March 21st on Amazon. There's so much we can do. Pookie's asking, what about Thursday night? I know Brandon will be off Thursday and Friday. I do believe Sharon Hadian will be sitting in on Thursday for Brandon, and then I will be sitting in Friday. So tune in, don't miss it. Hope you get some well-deserved rest, and you definitely look better on the TV than... Oh, Caleb, thank you. We love you, Brandon. It's the makeup. Not that I'm advising Brandon should wear makeup. That came out so off. Guys, I need to take my next ad break. Let's go ahead and take the next ad break. When we come back, I'll continue on your comments. Don't go anywhere. Well, hello, everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. sure for this, I hope I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. Um, Another way to support me financially, of course, is pick up my art pieces, handmade right here in America. All products used, also US made, at lutfstudio.com. Use promo code MISSION for extra, I think, 10% discount. Thank you, Jerry. You're very kind. Caleb says, do you think we will be sending troops in anytime soon? I don't. Again, well, okay. First of all, if we're doing the Kurds situation, there won't even be a need until the second round of civil war between Iranians and MK. If we're not, again, I don't even see why we would need troops or boots on the ground. After transitional government, yes, which is normal for that. But I don't see needing any need for that, to be honest, unless we're absolutely overkilling. And I don't mean literally. Or maybe I do. So, no, I don't see us going in. I don't see us needing to go in. Amen, Pookie. According to the Bible, there will never be peace until Yeshua hits Mountain Zion. Well, tell that to all the members of the Board of the Peace, right? They have produced peace, remember? Have you heard anything about the Epstein files in Tehran, or is that just people trying to make things up? Definitely people trying to make things up. No disrespect to the atrocity of Epstein files and the shameless cover up by the government of all kinds. But right now, in Iran, in Tehran, in Esfahan, in Tabriz, the only news is, when is this over? Can we come on the streets? Can we take the country? Where do you take cover? That's literally the concept. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate your prayer. I do need all of them. Again, I am fine. I'm inside. I'm still fired up, but my poor body is like, let's slow it down a little bit. Oh, thank you, Pookie. I appreciate it. I'm so glad to hear that you guys were happy. I think Brandon was happy with the show last night, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. Okay, let me try to sit straight a little. I feel like I'm leaning forward too much, a little too much. Trump already knows Brandon and Logan. They interviewed him at Mar-a-Lago. What would it take for Brandon to somehow be allowed to get to Trump? He would have to bypass the main gatekeeper, Susie Willis. Well, Annalise, that is true. Yes, Brandon and Logan were at Mar-a-Lago doing the interview. However, let's go back to something that I've been saying, and later, of course, Alex Jones confirmed. This isn't about getting to Trump. This is about Trump willingness to hear you. He is not willing to hear. First of all, may Lord forgive me as for I'm about to judge. Without taking all the credits of what's going on in Iran, Trump was already an arrogant president. Today, there is no talking to Trump anymore. There just isn't. Listen to his news conference at the Oval Office yesterday. You hear it. It's like 10 times worse. When a man is consumed by his own ego to a point of, as I said it on Brown House Live yesterday on my show. I've been trying to keep the narrative fair and square. When you take away all the credit of everybody else and you just crown yourself the guy who did it all, and the difference, again, Bibi is in the front line. Our president isn't. I guess it's just a difference of operation in countries. But when you're consumed by your own ego and you see yourself as the victorious man who did it all, I have not heard not once in any of these 5 days for Trump to say, praise Lord, something. It's all him. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. This man is not going to hear me or Brandon or Logan or anybody else for that matter. He won't. And that is a general concern that I have had from mid 2024 until today. I actually had someone interesting said a few days ago that now Trump delivered on his promise. I hope your issues with Trump is resolved. It's okay. We all make mistakes at times. I responded with what issues? Be more specific. Because again, first of all, I know how this is started. Trump didn't deliver on his promise. Bibi did. Yes, we're backing Israel. We're fully involved now, but Israel did it. So I could sit here and argue that Trump didn't deliver on his promise. He didn't. Now, even if he did, somebody else replied on my behalf. So if you have a neighbor who broke your mailbox and threw a stone through your window and tried to set your house on fire and then brought you food when your loved one died, do you forgive the rest of it? No. No. My issues with Trump on allowing the Islamization of America stands the same way they were before this war. I don't mix and match things. One of the reasons I survived was I have the capability to keep things separated. I've been told that I even process my emotion through my brain. So even if we say this was Trump, which it wasn't, even if we say it was Trump who liberated Iran, I will always say it was. Remember, go back, watch me on Brandon House live around 14th or 15th of January when I said, with or without him, Brandon, I worry not because I know Lord is watching after my people. That's not going to change. Now, if I'm going to give one individual man on earth as a tool that Lord used to liberate my people, that will be Netanyahu. Now, for any reason, for sake of just being around, my arm is twisted. I'm like, okay, fine, it was Trump. I will say, thank you. Thank you for helping my people liberate themselves. But what about America? Don't mix and match things. No, I don't. I'm different. I don't do that. Yes, President Trump probably flipped a lot of Iranian votes in America with this attack. Not mine. Not mine. I am still an independent, neither a Republican nor a Democrat, and I still believe they're both feed from the same bank account. I will change my mind. I will change my vote the moment I witness that actually ICE is deporting the illegals. I will do that when I watch FBI investigating and picking up the known terrorist jihadists in America. I will change my vote and my attitude the moment I see Trump administration is cutting all ties, including military bases, to Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Qatar, and the rest of them. Until such time, Iran is Iran, America is America. And believe it or not, my whole adulthood, I have fought for both countries. And believe it or not, that's possible. I just showed you it's possible. I can criticize Trump when it comes to America and America's safety. And that will not change until I see a change of behavior. See, most humans, especially those who have never faced trauma, the attitude is one act to my favor, you're my ally. One act against me, you're my enemy. In my case, I watch your pattern of behavior. One act does not change my mind one way or another. I watch for pattern of behavior. And when I have the pattern configured, then I'll decide if you're my ally or you're my enemy. I should have stopped being way too into philosophy. Okay, Lori says, you're right, Inez. The government could have stopped Islamization long ago. Instead, they rolled out the red carpet, literally. Exactly. Hey, Martin, good to see you. Trump allowing his mRNA vaccine to kill Americans right here in American soil. Yes, and I think didn't we spend like one of the first acts in the office was the uh budget, what was it? I might misquote this one. 50 billion or so. No, I'm sorry. $500 million budget for the mRNA cancer vaccines. Remember the one that's going to be specifically set for your genetics? Yeah, I remember that. I got good memory. Amen, Annalise. God raises kings and brings them down for his purpose, but he is sovereign over all. Amen. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, when I watch these, thank you, Trump, 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 I'm like, I mean, at least I hope in private you're saying thank you, Jesus. We all prayed. Thank you, Don. It's good to see you. Okay, let's head over to the other platforms. I'm trying to be fair because I tend to be a little not fair. Kristen, my handle on X is Live Up to Freedom. So on X and Instagram, my handles Live Up to Freedom. On a Substack is also Live Up to Freedom. The only place that's my full name, I know Zanny Cyrus, is Facebook, mainly because when I started this, I started small on Facebook using my name, and then other platforms came later. I need to make sure I don't miss my last ad break here. Um, the Brits and the Americans dictates how the world is run, said Bat. They have been for a long time, a very long time. Um, Lord willing, at some point, one of the books will be about that. You look at Middle East and Central Asia, the evidence is right there. Um, Anne Rapture says, I'm also concerned about Colorado Gold Star mother in prison. I hear she's not in good health. You talk about Tina. Um, I heard this morning that there is consideration. I think the governor is looking into releasing her, actually. So let's keep praying that that is true and the governor does go forward with releasing Tina Peters in Colorado. Yes, it would be a fantastic day for that to happen. She should have never been put in prison, but she's not in great health either. Guys, let's go take our last ad break. When we come back, we're going to address some more comments, some more updates, and close the show. Be right back.
You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview books, documentaries, research, high-profile interviews, and the radio and television broadcasts of Brannon House.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I normally try to do this on my last my last segment. If I started speaking Farsi, just don't mind me. We actually talked about it on the radio today. I just told you earlier today, Newsmax, ONN, Voice of America is, I think, the other one, VOA. No, what is the Bannon channel? Whatever channel it is, Steve Bannon channel. Um, Fox News, Blaze, all of them. Selling out to MEK and all of that. But you know, the one network that didn't? not just to MEK, the one network that never bended the narrative to radicals versus moderate, never bended the narrative to our allies could be Islam, this, lone wolf. Yeah, all of that was Worldview Tube, the network you're watching us, most of you are watching on us. Worldview Tube has never bended. Brian House has never pulled the plug on us. Those of us who are controversial. By affiliation, your company can be targeted when you work with people like me, let alone giving them a microphone, let alone giving them their own show and pay for all the bandwidth and the servers and the producers and all of that. Brian House stood by us. He has always said that is the right thing to do through Bible and patriotism. So the minimum I can do is sit in for him when he asks, but more than that is to encourage my audience, especially those of you outside of Worldview YouTube on my platforms. This network is running because you guys are backing us up. We don't have Uncle Soros, and we most certainly don't have Qatari back money. There are many ways you can support this network financially. I do my best to do the read for all of them every time I'm on air. So let's go over them real quick. You can make a tax-deductible donation if you prefer that. And with tax returns coming up, great time to make some contribution to ministries such as Brian House's. You can do that by going to worldviewfoundation.com. Worldviewfoundation.com is where you can make a tax-deductible donation. You can also, there's a phone number there where you can call if it gives you more confidence talking to a familiar voice and making your donation there, or you can write a check. There's a mailing address there that you can send your check to the address. Another way to support is go to worldviewtube.com/sponsors. worldviewtube.com/sponsors. That's where all the sponsors of the network are. You can get yourself some really good products that are tested and used by Melissa and Brandon themselves. And that way you also financially support the network. Another way to do yourself the biggest favor of all time, which is preparing for any disaster possibly coming your way, is go to worldviewstore.com. That's worldviewstore.com. Anything you would need to prepare yourself, your family, and your home for any possible disaster, crisis, or chaos is through worldviewstore.com. Last but not least, you can become a paid subscriber of Worldview Tube and get access to over 3 decades of material that is factual, biblical, and put together by experts on every single category. That is worldviewtube.com/vault. That is vault with a V. I know. V and W have been a struggle for 24 years in my life. worldviewtube.com/vault is where you can cancel your Grok membership and get better information, factual information right there, and support the network that is supporting people like me. Okay. I want to talk about one more thing before we wrap up today. Sorry, some of your comments crack me up. So, the Guardian Council in Iran decided to go from we're going to have constitutional temporary government of the 3 members, which is the president, head of judiciary, and the appointed cleric by Guardian Council, being monitored and overviewed by Khamenei's son, to, you know what, Khamenei's son is the new supreme leader. I put a Substack out in a note format, and I addressed this. Funny enough, many were saying, who cares, they're going to kill him or whatever. We should care. So I want you to follow me. I'm going to try to do this as less boring as possible and as fast as I can. But here's why you need to care about what I posted, what I put out on my Substack. I started with if, and that's a big if. if Moshtaba Khamenei, the son of Supreme Leader, is even alive, because based on my calculation, he should be dead. What is my calculation? On February 28th, there was a strike on Beit Khomeini, which is Khamenei's Beit Rahbari, which is Khamenei's um, office slash where it house him. The report confirmed by IRGC itself says Khamenei died. We all know that. Khamenei's wife died. We all know that. Khamenei's daughter and son-in-law and grandchild died. Khamenei's daughter-in-law died. Daughter-in-law is the wife of Moshtaba. So, am I to believe that they all died, but Moshtaba didn't? And intelligent confirmation says Moshtaba was in the same building. He's unscratched, untouched, capable enough to become a supreme leader. Why is that important? Because Islamic Republic of Iran has officially reached a point where you can say Velayat Faqih. What is Velayat Faqih? Governance of Shia Sharia system. It has completely collapsed. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. Otherwise, a potential dead man wouldn't be the new supreme leader. That is major. That is my reasoning to sit here and say this is not going to be a never-ending war, because when Velayat Faqih collapses, it's done. From here on out is a straight-up war against the military known as IRGC. And IRGC by itself, without Velayat Faqih, doesn't stand as strong as it did on last Friday. I know the system is a little complicated and a little confusing, but trust me, because, well, as you know, I know that system. Second reason, this is the sign of collapse of Velayat Faqih. Under their own Sharia-based constitution, in order for a supreme leader to be selected by the assembly of experts, where you have 88 members, 88 clerics, high-level clerics, who will vote on yes or no of this new supreme leader. The building for assembly of experts was hit yesterday morning, about 11 hours before this guy comes and becomes the supreme leader. When that building was hit, they were in process of not taking vote for him, but taking vote for qualification of the next department. Even if only 2/3 of them were in there, not all of them, 2/3 of them were in there when it hit. In order for a supreme leader to be anointed, 2/3 of this 88 must vote yes. As of right now, IRGC has not announced how many of them are dead. So the possibility of this vote being legit is under extreme question. And if we can question that, we can most certainly state that Velayat Faqih has collapsed. Because unless it went through what I just explained, with 2/3 of the 88 members of Assembly of Experts, if that's not the way it was done, by Shia Sharia constitution, it is not a legit supreme leader status. I'm not going to even dig into the qualifications. The very top of the line qualification for this new supreme leader to be considered a Velayat Faqih is the education he doesn't have. The rest can wait for another time. The reason I addressed, somebody said, oh, great, you took your time to write a detailed information of how this could not be legit. You could have used your time in a better way. Yes, I could have taken a nap. But this is why I do what I do. Because nobody's out there telling you the Velayat Faqih has collapsed. The actual Islamic regime system has collapsed. They are operating outside of Velayat Faqih. Therefore, this will not be a never-ending war. This will not go on forever. It has collapsed. Another main reason, the Gulf states are not coming in. They know the system like I do. They completely know what just happened. They understand that if they try to get involved and their own citizens try to do to them what Iranians did to the regime, that is too big of a risk to take. They rather come up with excuse later for US as to why they didn't get involved than try to keep their people in place. And that is what I'm going to conclude on my reporting on updates. I'm not bragging. Brandon told me that if it's factual, it's not bragging. Let me know if you find any of the information I shared with you today, if you find them anywhere else, because I'm pretty sure you won't. As I said, most people prefer to report on what's getting clicks, what's getting out with 500 other people. I don't. My purpose here is to clear out any confusion and to show the progress that's being made for the world, not just Iran, not just Israel. We have not seen an absolute collapse of Balayat Faqih in the Shia Islamic world until today. That is history. That will go down in history as what we achieved, regardless of all the memes, all the jokes, all the tough talks. That is the reality. And I want to congratulate the human society for this achievement. Regardless of everybody crying unconstitutional war, this is what this war achieved so far, which is even greater than the death of the monster, Khamenei. You guys just stay safe. You guys just stay vigilant. Make sure to support my work either by ordering your signed copy of the book on liveuptofreedom.com. Go to cyruswellness.com. Pick up products that will save you time, give you a healthier household, and also financially support my work or my art studio. Or as I always say, become a paid subscriber on my Substack. Please don't forget those, because the next few days that I won't be on air to repeat them, my bills will pile up. And I count on your support to pay the bills as we continue in this journey of saving not one, not two countries, but the whole world from this evil of Islam. I won't be here tomorrow, but I will be here Friday as the last show of the week, and also on Brown House Live on Friday night. Thank you so much, guys. See you then.